Yesterday, we had the single biggest dollar value gain in Bitcoin history. We're seeing altcoins start to springboard. Some of these altcoins are now doing 60% days. We'll show that here in just a second. But there's so much opportunity left here. And there was a miniature pullback earlier today and overnight, and people started thinking, well, is this run over? And truly speaking, I don't think it is. During these progressions in the market, we see pullbacks occur. However, I think there's some underrated altcoins out there for you guys to snatch up at these prices that really haven't had a pump yet. We've covered a lot of these over the course of the last 8 months leading into this, but some of them have been swept under the radar a little bit, and I want to talk about some of my favorite buys and some that other channels might not be telling you. So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Like the video and subscribe to the channel for more every single day and every week here on In the Game. And a big shout out to all of our sponsors here on In the Game. We have Moon Tropica, 𝗥𝗡𝗏, we have Ledger, as well as FOMO, and a big shout out to all of our sponsors you can check out in the description down below. If you are looking for a place to trade in this market, by the way, you need something with tons of pairs. And to be honest, no KYC is a huge perk, especially for me. I live in the US. It's pretty hard to trade on things like Bybit. It's literally barred. So you can jump into WEEX'S here. We're actually holding a crypto banter and WEEX'S competition for trading. You can jump in here. You get a welcome bonus immediately, as well as over 450 pairs. No KYC needed on one of the fastest growing exchanges in all of Asia. So check out WEEX'S down below. And also, for you guys looking to get a little exposure to Bitcoin. Now, it won't make you Bitcoin rich, but if you buy a Ledger Flex down below and get the orange Flex, so this orange model that I'm showing on the screen, the device will actually come loaded with $20 of Bitcoin. So you'll be able to potentially do with that what you will. But if you buy the orange Flex model down below in the description, you'll get $20 of Bitcoin loaded right onto the device, absolutely free with the purchase of the orange Flex. Now let's jump into the market. As you know, like I said, people were I saw a little bit of panic immediately, and it was almost like one of those days where you see the memes on Twitter where it says 87K today versus yesterday, and one's really gloomy and one just looks like happiness, right? So 87K today, for some reason, people felt a little bit down about it, but these pullbacks happen. Like, we saw a big retracement yesterday from 89 back down to 86. Now we're back up 3% on the day, and to be quite honest with you, I have unwavering conviction that we probably do continue trending towards 100K before the end of 2024. Are we going to hit 100K? I'm not certain about that. Now, if it happens, amazing. But you always have to see both sides of the ball. We've had a lot of momentum. Bitcoin is literally up 40% over the 30-day timeline. So we've had a heck of a month here in crypto and a heck of a Q4, because October also treated us quite nicely. And if we're looking at the altcoin sector right now, we see Altura up 20% today, Dogecoin up 245% over the 30-day timeline. This is so bullish for other alts. Like, once the money starts pivoting into other alts, especially Ethereum altcoins, oh, that is going to be huge for the meme coin sector. We also see Heart up 12% on the daily. We have Playable Games up 10% on the daily. This one I mentioned, if Avalanche continues its run, you're probably going to see AVAX ecosystem tokens like Beam, like Playable, like Domi Online start to run because of that attachment to the ecosystem of Avalanche. So, we'll go over the altcoins I'm looking at. And like I said, some that I feel like are being overlooked in this market, but this is the time you got to really dial in. And during the bear market, it's not only your watch list of coins, but I love this from SparkC, as he says, you're about to see a lot of accounts who only talked about gameplay start to becoming traders, right? Like, you're going to start seeing people that did one thing try to become another, whether it's meme coin trenches, whether it's tokens. Always remember the ones that have been through the cycles in these different ways, because that is toxic. I will say there's a lot of people out there that play crypto games that are now leaning into the trading, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of tough to kind of diversify that. So always consolidate your watch lists in both coins and the people that you listen to here on YouTube and on crypto Twitter. We have the Coinbase app, which just broke into the top 200 on Google Play in the United States. So Coinbase app is climbing up the ranks. I saw a tweet from Miles too that said number 21. He's in the UAE currently, I believe. So I'm not certain if he was looking his local app store, but in America, we have number 200 Coinbase here in the United States on Google Play. So we're really not near retail being here. And how about this? This is absolutely gangster. Russell Okung, who's a former NFL player, he took half of his $13 million salary a few years ago in Bitcoin. So it was 6.5 at the time. It is now worth $20 million. He took this all the way back in 2020, so absolute big flex there for Russell Okung, who, if you're an NFL fan, you definitely know who that is. And then also, like, we're seeing the cycle start to play out. It's crazy to see just the conviction pay off, right? Over the last 3-4 years, we've been sitting here banging our heads against a wall, like, when is price action gonna move? What is going on? Now we see all this price action, 40% gain in Bitcoin, 87K doesn't even feel like, we're still not even in that euphoria, which is insane. We're at 87K Bitcoin and retail's not even hardly here. I'm not getting texts from anyone yet about crypto and this and that. So we're still early, and we see McDonald's partnering up with Doodles. So this is coming on November 18th. So next week, we have a McDonald's and Doodles NFT partnership. Now, these, number one, these start to exhibit signs of potential local tops. However, this is bullish, very good. It also solidifies that these NFT brands are not going anywhere. So very bullish to see this partnership. I know yesterday we talked about Prime leading into the prompt token. I know it's actually looking pretty good as of now, as Prime is up 6% on the day, but 44% on the week. So a really nice bounce for those who got in on Prime. We're seeing dips across a lot of coins like MOG, like Super. When you roll down the list here on the daily, we have Zai on a daily dip here. We have Nakamoto Games, which is at $1.30 yesterday, down 10%. I think that's a fantastic buy. Wilder World starting to trend up. So a lot of these alts are showing that they're waking up. And once we see an off-the-grid token, or once we see one of these big gaming splashes come through the door, just like what we've seen with AI agents, just like what we saw with the AI narrative, just like what we're seeing with meme coins, once attention and a big catalyst comes through the door, we're going to see liquidity rolling through gaming tokens like crazy, but it's not going to happen overnight. So if you're planted in gaming, your time horizon needs to be longer. You need to be thinking about throughout the cycle, and I'll show you why in just a second. We also have Ton Station, #1 gaming app on Ton, and this is why I'm bullish on Citus and Senate. But on top of that, if you're not already farming soon, the Ton Station token, you have 3 more days to do so. So jump into the Ton Station app. I'm not going to give you a referral link. I don't need to spam a referral link here to get you underneath so I can get a bigger airdrop. None of that. Just head over to Ton Station, check out the Telegram, jump in, start farming soon, because this TGE at $7.5 million FDV, I think can absolutely cook. So definitely one to check out there. And then just moving over to altcoins. Like I said, we have a lot of dips coming through right now. And actually, we're seeing movement on some coins that, really don't justify, like Gala, Cardano, whatever the case is. But I want to show you something here. I want to go to Axie Infinity, and I just want to show you the timeline trajectory of when gaming is likely to pump. So last cycle, we actually saw around these May highs. This is when Axie took off. So we had that big dip on Bitcoin in May of 2021. Everyone remembers it, big flush out. Everyone thought the bull run was over, and then we saw the second rocket upwards. But after that first downtrend, gaming started picking up because Axie, people were making money in the game. Right now, we don't have that comparable game. And there's not a next Axie. We need to stop saying this. There won't be a next Axie. Axie awakened this industry as to what we know it today, right? But off the grid could bring in a ton of players and speculation, and people could be earning inside the game just similarly to the way that Axie was, but off the grid is 100 times the game that Axie Infinity is. And truly, with this meta catalyst, we started pumping in gaming about a month before the overall top of the market. I feel like gaming is much more of a retail narrative. What I mean by that is right now, yes, people are in the trenches. People are going to be trading these stupid meme coins, AI agent coins, etc. By the way, I invest in them. They're not that stupid. I like making money on meme coins too. Don't you worry. But when retail gets closer and closer and closer, people like to feel intelligent when they invest. Like, oh, I'm investing in something that's going to change the world, or it's going to do this, or it's going to disrupt an industry. People like that feeling. So they're going to come into stuff like AI utility coins, RWA, gaming. So I see gaming having a run, whenever Off the Grid launches, 100%, we're going to see liquidity rolling through the gaming sector. But number two, near the end of the cycle, you're going to see gaming coins rip. So if you're in gaming, you need to have a longer term time horizon. And I'm seeking out the gems, right? So I have my top tier plays, supers, beams, primes, Ronins, those types of plays. And those are going to stick in my portfolio for sure. I have no need to sell them anytime soon. I'm going to let those things run and play out. I think that 𝗧 is a big sleeper. We saw the 𝗧 founder saying they're going to turn into what Gala was supposed to be. That's a very bullish narrative to me, and I think that 𝗧 has so much upside. But one that is getting slept on, and really the timing that they had earlier this year was unfortunate, was Zentry. So let's look at the 1 year chart on Zentry. Right around here when the market topped. So the market was literally at a peak, and they rebranded from 𝗙𝗪𝗘 over to Zentry. Now, Zentry is kind of like Beam. They're going to have their own network. They have their own ecosystem of games. They have massive funding in their treasury. They did a really good job navigating the bear market. But with the price action, when they rebranded, it didn't work out like Beam. So I'm going to go look at the Beam chart here. When we look at the 1 year, when they rebranded, the market kicked up. When Zentry did an unfortunate timing on their rebrand, the market trended down. But I do think that this narrative could kick up, as we see the founder here saying Zentry Games made 10 million plus in the last few months. I don't need narrative. I am the narrative. So to me, you guys know I've liked Zentry since they rebranded. Like I said, the market here was pretty rough when they rebranded this. I've heard some alpha about some things to come. So for me, Zentry would be near the top of my buy list. I already have a bag in. Anyone who's been following me a long time definitely has been eyeing up Zentry, but I think this is one of the most slept on gaming positions, and I think there's going to be some big news coming through this ecosystem. And for the fact that their games are doing 10 million in revenue over the last few months and the market cap's only 120 million, that lines up as super bullish to me. Like you're accounting for like 8% of the market cap in revenue over a couple months time. That to me screams bullish in my opinion. Moving down the ladder here on gaming coins. Obviously, you guys know I like Polis, I like 𝗥𝗎𝗄, I like 𝗏𝗏𝗏, and I like Moon Tropica. One I saw pointed out in the comments yesterday that also filters under that avalanche narrative would be 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And I want to point this out because 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Online, once again, this is so risky because it is such a low cap. So like we're going down the risk ladder here. Zentry is a little safer. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a little riskier, but it falls under on the thumbnail, the avalanche narrative, and my background here, the avalanche narrative. Back here when gaming ripped last winter, this thing did a 3-4x off of its bottoms, and then it went back down to 2 cents. During Avalanche in the last gaming run in March, it did another 3x off of its lows. So to me, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Online is an easy, like leveraged beta type of trade underneath Avalanche that could give you crazy returns if done right. So that's what I would be looking at. If you're looking for a lower risk play on a new altcoin, I would look at Zentry. If you're looking for a higher risk play underneath an Avalanche ecosystem, which by the way has been crushing, Avalanche is sitting at $34 right now. I think I would roll with something like a 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Online, a Beam, a Bull, for example, and that'll give you that exposure, but it's lower market cap, so you could see more multiples during that time period. So that's what I'm looking at underneath Avalanche, as well as Zentry. I think it's the most slept on ecosystem in all of crypto gaming. When it comes to meme coins, Brett and Mog, I'm going to continue with that narrative. Brett and Mog are the absolute kings. whenever you look at MOG, it's actually lagging right now. I think when that Doge liquidity comes through the door, you're going to see MOG rip. And then, just to be honest, the base user, I think Base will eventually, or Coinbase will eventually list Brett. And I think at that point in time, it's unfadable. So really looking at Brett and MOG in the meme coin space. There are some uptrending ones that I also have in mind, but currently those are the ones I really have on my radar. Also today, there was a little bit of drama in the AI space. Before I dive into the AI coins that I want to eye, it looks like PAL is merging or proposing to merge with ASI. I hate this. I think this is absolute garbage. I hate ASI as it is. I had a great entry on Ocean, basically gets washed away because they went into this new token. I freaking hate it. So if they end up doing this, and they're screwing the community right now because the PAL token is down 57% today. So an absolute bonehead move, and these teams in crypto continue to make these mistakes. I don't understand it. I hope that they right this ship and right the wrongs, because also Becker tweets here that this is unacceptable. Like, he DM'd the leads. So we'll see what comes from this. But in more positive news, we have the Seedify AI Jam going live. Agents AI, 1 million market cap, 100% unlock. The open sales going on right now. And I've been talking about how I think some of the biggest AI coins of the cycle are yet to come. Stuff like KIP Protocol, maybe Agents AI, especially with this launch structure, low FDV, 100% unlock. But if I'm looking at AI coins currently, I'm looking at Prime. I'm looking at stuff like Humans AI. I'd be looking at GPU, Carrot, those types of coins that kind of have multi-exposure. But then on the top half, I mean, I don't think you can own enough Tau and Render when it comes to the blue chips of AI altcoins. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm keeping my AI coin bag simple. I also think Desync. And if you look at the market right now, you actually see Desync is the highest gaining other than AIOZ today. It seems like PAL money is going into Desync. So if you're looking for that trade there, Desync might have been the play. But for me, I'm looking at GPU. I'm looking at Heart. I'm also looking at stuff like, I like 0x0, Carrot, Prime, Tau, and Render. That's what I would be looking at in the AI sector. So guys, like I said, some of the plays I gave are a little riskier. Some of the plays are pretty safe when it comes to Tau, Render, Zentry, and then a little risk on when it comes to the GPUs, the Humans AI, the Domi Online type of plays, Citus, WAGMI Games, etc. But regardless, I think this alt season really hasn't played out yet, and I think that this run does continue. You're going to see pullbacks on the way to Valhalla. It's not an easy road. So always strap in, be ready for any of the turmoil that's to come. Always manage your risk according to your risk tolerance. I might be a little riskier than the common person, but that's because I live and breathe crypto, right? So you guys have a great rest of your day. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all on the next one. And as always, play well, my friends. And of course, stay bullish, my friends.